Alright guys, you got the cute cat again. Second video to ham radio for newbies. We're covering this particular radio just because of the ease of use. But the basics of the menu that is involved in this radio covers 99% of the radios you will come across, as long as it has a menu system. Now, what I mean by that is when you deal with radios like this, Motorola Ameritrack, this is just the control head. Okay, this is not the actual radio. The radio is buried under the seat. Okay, this is pre-programmed. As you can see, it just shows channels. Okay, this is a 99 channel radio. All right, this one does a heck of a lot. It's much higher wattage. This is not what we're going to be discussing. This is a whole different thing here. We're mainly concerned on this radio here. Okay. So now again, this radio has got the keypad. Okay. Now let's tune into NOAA. Okay. That's the NOAA frequency. Oddly enough, there's no activity over there, which is kind of weird. Okay. Now, if you need to know the NOAA frequencies for the weather, it's actually public knowledge. You can go online and you can look up this information. Just type in NOAA weather, and it'll give you the frequencies. There it is.
Speeds 4 to 5
Okay.
feet. Tonight.
So now,
West winds 10 to 15 knots.
let's just say that you're just, in some random frequency. Let's just do. I can do 139. I don't think I can. Okay. Let's just say there, right? And you get a note somewhere, hey, go to this frequency, the MERS frequency, okay? Multiple use radio service, all right? 151, okay, 825, all right? That's the MERS frequency. You pop it in there, okay? Your volume is here, okay? And that's that. Now, when you start getting into the menu, say someone tells you you got to run a PL, all right? On the GMRS radios, they call them the private channels, private line, something to that effect, all right? Your standard PL tone list, I believe, is 36 tones, okay? So to get to that, you hit your menu, and you see here it says TCTCSS. All right, there's supposed to be another S there. There just isn't. So, but there, that's your tone list, okay? So what you do is, you go to your menu. I just happen to be there, all right? And you hit menu again. And you can scroll through your tone list, all right? Now, what the TCTCSS stands for is Transmit Carrier Tone Continuous Squelch System, I believe is what that stands for. Somebody quote me if I'm wrong on that. Okay, but that's a sub-audible tone, okay? And if you notice, there it says hertz. Okay, and I'm scrolling through so you can see what the different numbers are. Okay, once you pass 141.3 right here, okay, if you have a good speaker, you can actually hear the sub-audible tone depending on the type of speaker that you have. Okay, so if you run like a 2065, all right, which is, okay, the 179.9 is a very loud tone. 183.5, nobody ever uses for some reason. 186.2 is a very loud tone. And so you got 192.8, 196.6, 199, 203, and 206.5. 206.5 was a non-standard tone. Not all radios had it. All right. And then once you get to 254.1, I believe, then it resets back to off, and then you start over at 67. Okay? So let's just say someone gives you a frequency of 151.825, and they say, hey, the tone is 192.8. Okay? So you hit your menu again, and then you can go down and you select 192.8, and then you confirm by hitting menu, and it selects it. Okay, now just because it's on doesn't mean that it's active. Okay, so again, to turn on the subaudible tones, you have to hit your menu, and then you see right here it says tone DCS, digital coded squelch, receive CTCSS, receive digital coded squelch. That's your timeout timer, and somehow I missed the transmit here. Oh, what the hell is it? Receive, timeout timer, beep. As you can see, this radio, it gets pretty involved. That's your transmit power, your step, which we'll get into, your squelch, reset all. That's if you make a massive mistake or just want to erase everything in the radio. Roger beep, which try not to use that. Got a power on message. Okay, repeat, repeater site, TDR, I don't know what that is. You see, then you have your band selection, band, VHF, UHF. Okay, not all radios will have this extensive menu system. The menu system on your radio will change depending on the type of radio that you have. All right, but if you're just dealing with this radio yourself, you know, it will have this menu, and I guess that actually automatically activates it. Okay, now if you look at the screen when you transmit, a little T should pop up. That's not transmitting. Hang on. Okay, you see at the left hand side it says CT. That's carrier tone. Okay, on other radios you need to turn on the subaudible tones, but this radio here, when you set the tone inside of here, your T stands for transmit, CTCSS, then it automatically turns it on. Okay, so say somebody gives you a frequency, this frequency here, 151.825, and they say, hey, the tone is 123. Okay, what the hell is 123? All right, you go in here. All right, now you have to turn this off. Okay, so we're gonna go up, actually, and turn that off. Right, hit your menu, and you're gonna go, see, it says T DCS. Go there. See, now it says transmit DCS. You see how it says D? D is for digital. Okay, and this goes a long way. All right, I'd have to spend 12 minutes just going through all of the different tones. Okay, so I'm sorry, it does not have a 123. It says D1125. So you choose that, hit your menu, hit your PTT to exit out, and when you transmit, it should say on the left hand side of the screen DCS, digital coded squelch. Okay, now keep in mind, anything that is broadcast through a radio is not secure. I've bought government radios that say in a bright red sticker, all communications, even though encrypted, are not secure. Somebody out there has got a piece of equipment that no matter how much encryption you try to run or you think it's encrypted, it really isn't. Somebody somewhere can decrypt it. All right? But now, if you have a radio or you buy a radio, which I would encourage, if you buy a radio that's got the encryption, I would recommend that, because at least, you know, the average Joe, you know, that buys one of these radios off of eBay and things of that nature and doesn't know how to use it, they have the encryption feature, you know, they may not know how to use it. All right. And the encryption feature is called simple inversion. Simple inversion is it works on any frequency that you program into the radio, and when you turn it on, it encrypts it by what it technically does. It takes the signal from FM and it modulates it into a form of sideband. So when you listen to it, it's it just sounds really funny. All right. When you're talking radio to radio, encryption to encryption, it sounds clear. But to the average Joe, if you're just scanning through, it's just going to sound like a bunch of garbled garbage. All right? So now, that's the simple inversion. All right? This radio, I don't believe, has it. All right? So now, let's just say you're trying to use some kind of repeater system. All right? A repeater has an input and an output. Now let's just use this for example. We got 151.825 and 151.525. Okay? So let's just say your output of the repeater, what you listen to, is 151.825, right? And your input is 151.525. So that means you got a 300 kilohertz offset. Okay? Well, how's that work? Well, you go into your menu, okay? And you find the spot in your radio that says offset. Okay, right there. See, that says offset, 0.600. Well, if you change that to where you need it to be 300 kilohertz, you can either type it in or you can just use your menu and select 300 kilohertz. Okay, so you got that, right? Now, if you go there and you try to transmit, okay, it's not doing it yet. Okay, so effectively, when you set the offset, you're listening in on 151.825 and you want to transmit 151.525, right? All right, well, you got that. You got your offset set. That's something you only have to set one time unless each repeater has a different offset, and then that's when you want to do the memory. That's another thing later. So you set your offset. Hit your menu again. Then you got to scroll through until you see the thing that says shift. And I got to find it. Offset. Okay. SFD. Okay. That really means shift. And you hit your menu and you turn it on. You see it says positive, negative, or off. Okay. So since you need to shift down 300 kilohertz, you select negative and you get out of there. Now, the first thing you notice is a little D up there. I mean, a little minus. Now, pay attention to the screen. If I can get this thing to transmit. Look what it just did. Okay? So, the repeater's sitting on top of a building somewhere. Alright? And you listen in on 825, but you need to talk into the repeater on 151.825, and now it's doing it. It's now shifting 300 kilohertz to the negative. Okay? So, say somebody wants to be a wise ass and go, well, you know, I don't care for a standard offset, so we'll make it positive, right? So if somebody gives you a repeater frequency of 151.825, but the input is like, 153, 91, all right? You kind of have to do the math on that, all right? So 153.91, right? So you go to your shift, your offset, okay? And you actually have to push the button on this, okay? Some of these radios you can actually type this in directly. Alright, but we're just going to show you how this works. It just sucks that you actually have to press a stupid button on this. Okay, so that's at 1 megahertz offset. Alright, and let's just do 1.1. Alright, and we get out of there. Okay, so 15391.925. Okay, so I'm 15 kilohertz off. So you go back into your offset, and I believe that should be it right there. Oh, hold on. Still off. And 915. I need 5 kilohertz too high. .905. All right, I got to change the step, but you get the gist of what's going on there. All right. So that's your offset. That's your PL tones. Okay. So say you never want to do this crap again. It's just one frequency. You know, guy had to be difficult. You know, screw this. I'm not doing that crap again. You got your tone set. You got your offset in. And how do you save it? It varies from radio to radio. All right. And I believe this radio here, I believe you hold menu. I don't, darn it. I actually don't remember how to program a channel on this. You can refer to the manual on how to program the channels in this. Okay, as you can see, I got a frequency program in there, and I'd be damned if I remember how to program a channel in here. But that's how, if you read the book, it explains how to program in the channel. Again, each radio is different, so what works for this radio will not work for a Yaesu or an Alinko or something to that effect. They all vary on how to program the channels in. But the basis of operation as to how to put your frequencies in, how to put your tones in, and your offset is pretty much the same from radio to radio. It just varies if you have a keypad or if you just have the little yellow radio that's got the knob at the top and you got to press the menu and the volume. And so, but the menu on these are pretty much going to be the same. All right. And with that, you know, we'll just run with this for right now. I don't want to overload you with information, but we'll do another video as
4K and you're listening on down. Welcome to W4PDE, Dylan.
All right, that's Dillon, South Carolina. All right, we'll turn that off. Anyway, okay. With that, we'll let it run. If you have any questions or comments, drop it down below. You got the QCAT.